I'm honestly here to shed light on the difficulties of being a man. Simply because a lot of our feelings and emotions are neglected. If anything, we're mainly told not to have any, as opposed to how to really fix them. And it's very much tough. When it comes to being a husband, when it comes to being a single man, when it comes to genuinely just being a leader to a certain extent, you don't always have the guidance that you need to be able to go through life. And it's basically the definition of life. We're not born with instructions. It's our job to figure stuff out on our own. And a lot of times it happens with mistakes. We don't learn our lesson until we go through a particular situation that allows us to learn. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But the one thing I can capitalize on is the fact that emotions are pretty much supposed to be non-existent when it comes to a man. And it's tough. I have been through a lot within the past year, 2 years. But the one thing I can say is that I've grown from who I used to be the 1-2 years ago. And it's most definitely been for the better. And mainly because that's a prayer that I say every day, that I'm never gonna be at the point to where I'm perfect. But I use every single day I have to be better than what I was yesterday. And that's the one thing that I can say that I do my very best to apply to myself every single day. But it ain't easy. I've never really been a talkative person. I've never really been a person that just is surrounded by friends, and I'm always putting myself out there to be in the company of other people. I've been by myself all my life. So that's led to a lot of different mistakes, a lot of different failed relationships, a lot of different experiences that I had to go through to learn who I was. And it's made me the man that I am today. Still improving, but very much different than what I was back in the day. I grew up with a churchy family, parents that took me to church so much that I couldn't stand it. And I can say that I'm a believer. I'm still a believer. And I thank them for what they did for me growing up, because I could be in a way worse position right now. But because of them taking me to church, showing me who God is, and me searching and seeking God myself, hey, I turned out to be a heck of a doggone guy. But backtracking to me not really having those connections, those people to talk with, life gets to the point where it's rough, because I'm more on the lines of just me comforting myself rather than having the company of somebody else comforting me. And right now, happily married. I got a wife. We communicate constantly. We make sure we're transparent on each other's side. She understands me, I understand her. And we're newlyweds, so we're in that position where we're getting used to each other. But it's all working out for us. I would say the rough patches are the days where there are disagreements, because it would be straight up insane for me to say that we didn't have any. The days that there are disagreements, and she can reach out to her family, she can reach out to friends, and she can get that advice or that different perspective on maybe she's wrong, maybe she's right. Me, it's kind of just a constant battle with myself, because I don't have that extra person there to tell me, man, you did this wrong. Nah, you could have did this a little bit better. You did that right. And it can get to a point to where I'm trying to get my point across. My point ain't making sense to the other person, but it's making plain sense to me. And it takes for the conversation to get heated for me to be like, okay, Yeah, I didn't think about that part. Because everything your mind tells you is going to be right. Everything thought that comes to your head that sounds legit is going to be right. But that's the prayer that I pray every day, that I'm always looking at myself. I pray and I ask God, God, show me myself. Show me my faults. Show me the things that I'm doing right. Show me the things that I need to fix. God, just show me myself so that I can constantly visualize myself on the outside, looking directly into who I am. That way I can repair. Right now, it's a blessing. Honestly happy for me to say that my wife is about a month pregnant with my first child. When I met her, she had a son, so I have a son, but on top of that, have my own biological child on the way. I'm excited. And the one differences that I can say that come when it comes to having a child is that things are a lot different in each other's mindsets. The woman going through all the physical changes, going through all the hormonal changes, and just mental things that come up during a pregnancy. And it's easy for a person to reach out to her and ask her, how's she doing? You okay? Everything all right? But when it comes to a man, nobody cares. If anything, the question towards a man would be, how's your wife doing? And the question is very much appreciated. I can appreciate the fact that you're concerned with how my wife is doing and if she's okay, but ask me. Ask me if I'm all right. Because right about now, I'm not. I'm going through a lot of different thoughts when it comes to financial, when it comes to job, when it comes to living conditions, when it comes to, just current circumstances that are jumping on the fact that it's a baby on the way. But I don't have that person that's reaching out to me asking me, am I okay? And having somebody that you can speak with and sit down and have a great conversation with throughout that time is very much important, because it'll drive you insane. And honestly, that's where arguments come by, because your wife doesn't see your perspective. You don't fully see your wife's perspective. And then it's just a constant battle that's leading to stress and possible dangers for a child. But the one thing I could say is that open your mouth, no matter who it's to. Like I said, I raised up in a position where I didn't speak to a lot of people. I was quiet growing up. And for the longest, I thought it was a problem. I thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't talk much, until I got older and I was like, I just don't like to be around everybody. I ain't antisocial or anything like that, but I like to be in control of my crowd. I like to be in control of who I'm around. And if I feel a vibe about you that's not fully what reels me in, to be able to call you a friend and to be able to feel like I can associate myself with you outside of work, outside of church, outside of the store, then I'm gonna tread lightly. So that's what I continue to keep going through. That's what I continue to keep letting happen in my life. And honestly, me just reaching out is a battle. Because on one hand, I'm like, do I really need somebody to speak with? Probably not. And on the other hand, I'm like, I need somebody to talk to, because it can't just continue to be conversations by myself. But throughout this time, I'm mainly speaking towards expecting fathers. Your emotions are very much valid, but reach out to a person that can relate. Reach out to a husband that has kids. Reach out to just a guy that has kids and ask them how they felt when they had a baby. If anybody cared, if anybody was concerned about their feelings. First of all, to bring you down to earth and allow you to know that it's not a common thing, that it's not a non-common thing, and that hey, there's support for you. This course of months, weeks, however long you have until your baby gets here, you ain't by yourself. You're by a group of people who are going through the same thing, but speaking with your spouse and speaking to somebody else who can keep you leveled. Honestly, and I would say to cap things off, it's praying and asking God for that comfort in your heart. Because as a man, you're going to continue to be that provider. You're going to continue to be that protector, whether you know how to do it or not. You're going to continue to be there for your family and do what it takes to make sure that your family has what they need. If anything, they need for you to be strong. You need for you to be strong. But public service announcement, it's okay to cry. If you got to get by yourself, you got to do it in front of somebody. If you just simply need to yell, just make sure it ain't in public. But it's okay. You're going to make it through it. Because a joyous moment is coming. Giving up ain't no solution. Finding the easy way out ain't no solution. Man up. Because you play a valuable role. Hey, I Googled this. I Googled people's reactions. I Googled if other people were feeling this way. And I honestly didn't see much. So I decided to make a video myself. And I actually want to get my wife in on a few videos as well. So if y'all interested in seeing that, be sure to like, go ahead and comment, go ahead and subscribe. I know I haven't uploaded anything in a minute. So yeah, till next time, peace. He's my leader and strength throughout everything I face in life. And I stand on his never-ending guidance for him to be there for me. God, I love you. And I spend the rest of my life with you. God, because I can't do this by myself. Thank you for your guidance.